power to control your thoughts is the cornerstone of mastering your mind and emotions. Most people live their lives as if their thoughts are outside their control, allowing their minds to wander, often into negative or self-limiting patterns. The truth is, you have the ability to take charge of your thoughts and direct them toward what you want rather than what you fear. This is not some abstract idea. This is a skill that can be developed with conscious effort and practice. When you realize that you have the power to control your thoughts, you begin to understand that your thoughts shape your reality. The way you think influences the way you feel, and the way you feel influences the way you act. If your thoughts are negative, filled with self-doubt or fear, you will likely feel discouraged, anxious, or defeated. On the other hand, if your thoughts are positive and focused on what you want to achieve, your emotions will reflect that, and you will take actions that align with your goals. This is why controlling your thoughts is so powerful. It creates a ripple effect that influences every aspect of your life. The first step in taking control of your thoughts is becoming aware of them. Most people are not conscious of the constant stream of thoughts that flow through their minds. They let their thoughts run on autopilot. And often those thoughts are filled with negativity, worry, or self-criticism. To change this, you need to pay attention to your thoughts. When you catch yourself thinking negatively, pause and observe the thought. Don't judge it, simply notice it. This practice of awareness is the first step in gaining control. Once you are aware of your thoughts, the next step is to challenge them. Often our negative thoughts are based on assumptions or fears that are not rooted in reality. For example, you may have a thought like, I'm not good enough to succeed. But when you stop and examine that thought, you might realize that it's simply not true. Everyone starts somewhere, and nobody achieves success without first failing or learning. Challenging your negative thoughts involves questioning their validity and replacing them with more empowering beliefs. Instead of thinking, I can't do this, change your thought to, I may not know how to do this yet, but I'm capable of learning. Another way to control your thoughts is by practicing positive affirmations. Positive affirmations are simple statements that you repeat to yourself to reinforce a positive mindset. These affirmations can help reprogram your subconscious mind and shift your focus from limitations to possibilities. For example, saying to yourself, I am capable of achieving my goals, or I attract success and opportunity, can help replace self-doubt with confidence. The more you repeat these affirmations, the more they begin to influence your thinking, and over time, you'll notice a shift in the way you view yourself and your potential. Visualization is another powerful technique for controlling your thoughts. When you visualize yourself succeeding, achieving your goals, or overcoming obstacles, you are training your mind to focus on the outcome you desire. Visualizing success helps to create a mental blueprint for what you want to achieve. It gives your mind something to work toward, and it aligns your thoughts with your goals. This is why athletes, performers, and high achievers in various fields use visualization techniques. They understand that what they focus on is what they manifest in their lives. In addition to positive affirmations and visualization, you must also create an environment that supports positive thinking. The people you surround yourself with, the content you consume, and the environment you spend your time in all influence your thoughts. If you spend time with negative, pessimistic people, you are more likely to adopt their mindset. Similarly, if you fill your mind with negative news, social media drama, or self-defeating content, it's harder to maintain a positive outlook. To control your thoughts, you need to intentionally surround yourself with positivity. This might mean spending more time with people who encourage and inspire you, limiting your exposure to negative media, and creating an environment that supports your growth and well-being. It's also essential to practice gratitude in order to control your thoughts. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you don't have or what's going wrong to what you already have and what's going right. When you focus on the positive aspects of your life, you train your mind to look for the good, even in difficult situations. Gratitude helps you to stay grounded and optimistic, which is crucial for maintaining a positive mindset. Finally, to control your thoughts, you must cultivate patience and self-compassion. It's easy to get frustrated with yourself when you catch yourself thinking negatively, but remember, this is a process. You won't change your thought patterns overnight. It takes time and consistent practice. Be patient with yourself and acknowledge the progress you make, no matter how small. The key is to keep showing up for yourself, even on the days when controlling your thoughts feels difficult. Over time, with practice, you will notice that your thoughts become more positive, more focused, and more aligned with the life you want to create. In conclusion, controlling your thoughts is a skill that is available to anyone who is willing to put in the effort. It starts with awareness, followed by challenging negative thoughts and replacing them with empowering beliefs. Techniques like positive affirmations, visualization, and gratitude help reinforce a positive mindset. By controlling your thoughts, you take control of your life. The power to shape your reality lies within your mind, and when you master it, there is nothing that can stop you from achieving your goals. Managing your emotions is not about suppressing or ignoring them. It's about recognizing, understanding, and responding to them in a way that aligns with your goals and values. Emotions are an essential part of being human. They give us depth, color, and connection with others. But when left unchecked, emotions can also become overwhelming, causing impulsive actions or clouding our judgment. To truly master your emotional world, you must learn how to be aware of your emotions, regulate them effectively, and make intentional choices about how to respond to them. The first step in managing your emotions is awareness. Often we go through life reacting to our emotions without ever stopping to acknowledge them. Emotions rise up quickly, and before we know it, we're reacting to situations based on how we feel at the moment, rather than thinking through our responses. Awareness is the foundation of emotional management because it allows you to catch those emotions as they arise. Instead of immediately reacting with anger, fear, or sadness, you learn to pause and ask yourself, what am I feeling and why am I feeling this way? This simple act of self-reflection creates space between stimulus and response, giving you the power to choose how to act. One of the best ways to develop awareness is by practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of staying present in the moment and observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment. When you are mindful, you notice your emotional state without attaching a story to it or reacting automatically. You simply observe the emotion, recognize it, and give it a name. For example, if you feel angry, you might simply say to yourself, I'm feeling angry right now. This act of naming the emotion creates distance from it, which allows you to step back and reflect before responding. Once you are aware of your emotions, the next step is to regulate them. Emotional regulation doesn't mean suppressing or ignoring your emotions. It means managing them so that they don't control you. It's important to recognize that emotions are not inherently bad or good. They are simply signals that something is happening in your inner world. Emotions such as anger, frustration, or fear are signals that something is triggering you. But these emotions don't have to dictate your action. All the goal is not to eliminate negative emotions, but to handle them in a way that serves you. One effective way to regulate emotions is through deep breathing. When you feel an intense emotion rising, whether it's anger, anxiety, or frustration, take a moment to breathe deeply and slowly. Deep breathing activates the body's relaxation response, helping to calm the nervous system and reduce the intensity of the emotion. By taking a few deep breaths, you create a moment of pause that allows you to regain control over your emotional response. This simple technique is incredibly powerful and can be used in nearly any situation to help manage overwhelming emotions. Another strategy for emotional regulation is reframing. Reframing is the process of changing the way you view a situation in order to alter your emotional response. For example, if you receive negative feedback at work, your initial emotional reaction might be one of defensiveness or anger. However, by reframing the situation, you can view the feedback as an opportunity for growth rather than as a personal attack. By changing your perspective, you change your emotional reaction. This shift in perception is a powerful tool for managing your emotions and ensuring that you respond constructively to challenges. It's also important to remember that it's okay to feel your emotions fully. In our society, there can be a stigma around certain emotions, particularly those that are seen as negative, such as sadness or fear. However, denying or pushing down these emotions only makes them stronger and more difficult to manage over time. Allow yourself to feel the emotion completely, but don't let it consume you. Acknowledge the feeling and then choose to move forward. Whether it's talking to a friend, journaling, or engaging in an activity that calms your mind, it's important to process your emotions instead of letting them build up inside. One of the most crucial elements of emotional management is self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on yourself when you experience strong emotions, especially if you feel like they are inappropriate or unacceptable. However, self-criticism only adds to the emotional burden. Instead, practice being kind to yourself when emotions arise. Understand that everyone experiences difficult emotions, and it's a natural part of being human. Rather than judging yourself, offer yourself the same compassion that you would offer a friend. This approach creates an emotional safety net that allows you to deal with your feelings without adding additional stress or guilt. Finally, long-term emotional regulation requires building emotional resilience. Emotional resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, adapt to challenges, and continue moving forward despite difficult emotions. Resilience doesn't mean never feeling sad, angry, or disappointed. It means having the tools and mindset to manage those emotions and continue making progress. Building emotional resilience takes time and practice, but it can be cultivated through experiences, self-reflection, and emotional regulation practices. The more you practice managing your emotions, the more resilient you become in the face of adversity. In conclusion, managing your emotions is about learning to be aware of your feelings, understanding them, and responding in a way that aligns with your values and goals. Emotional management is not about avoiding or suppressing your emotions. It's about giving yourself the space to process them and then making intentional choices about how to react. By practicing mindfulness, reframing, deep breathing, self-compassion, and emotional resilience, you can gain control over your emotional world and respond to life's challenges with calmness, clarity, and confidence. Self-discipline is the cornerstone of personal growth and achievement. It is the ability to control your impulses, emotions, and behaviors in the face of external demands to achieve a greater goal. This means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail often comes down to self-discipline. While motivation may spark the desire to achieve, it is self-discipline that keeps you moving forward when that motivation fades. It's about creating the habits and routines that will guide you toward your goals, regardless of how you feel in the moment. The first aspect of self-discipline is developing the ability to take action even when it feels uncomfortable or inconvenient. Many people wait for the right moment to start a task or work on a goal. They wait for motivation to strike, for the circumstances to be perfect, or for the stars to align. But waiting for the perfect moment will only keep you stuck. If you want to develop self-discipline, you must learn to take action immediately, even when conditions are not ideal. Start small, but start now. Whether it's making a phone call, writing a paragraph, or getting up for a morning workout, the key is to do it without hesitation. To truly build self-discipline, you must also create a structure for your life. Successful people don't rely on willpower alone to get things done. They rely on systems, routines, and habits that support their goals. Without a structure, it's easy to become distracted or discouraged, and self-discipline begins to fade. By creating a daily routine that includes dedicated time for work, rest, and personal growth, you build the foundation for success. Structure provides a sense of direction and purpose, ensuring that you don't waste time or energy on things that don't align with your goals. One of the most important aspects of self-discipline is learning how to delay gratification. In our fast-pacing world, we are constantly bombarded with instant pleasures and distractions, social media, entertainment, food, or even shopping. These distractions are designed to give us quick rewards, but they often prevent us from working toward our long-term goals. Learning to delay gratification means resisting the urge for immediate rewards in favor of bigger, more meaningful rewards in the future. It's about being able to say no to things that might feel good in the moment, but are ultimately not serving you in the long run. For example, instead of spending hours watching TV, you might decide to spend that time working on a personal project or studying for a course. By exercising the ability to delay gratification, you strengthen your self-discipline and create more opportunities for success. Another crucial element of self-discipline is the ability to stay focused and avoid distractions. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Social media, emails, phone notifications, and even the people around us can pull our attention away from our goals. Staying focused requires making intentional choices about how you spend your time. This might mean setting boundaries with others, turning off notifications, or setting specific time blocks for tasks. When you stay focused, you prevent distractions from derailing your progress. This also means learning to say no to opportunities or requests that don't align with your priorities. Self-discipline is about saying no to things that are not serving your greater vision, and saying yes to the things that will help you reach your goals. Accountability is another key component of self-discipline. When you hold yourself accountable, you create an external pressure that motivates you to follow through on your commitments. One of the best ways to build accountability is by sharing your goals with others, whether it's a friend, mentor, or accountability partner. When you have someone checking in on your progress, you are more likely to stay on track and stay disciplined. It's easy to let yourself off the hook when no one is watching, but having someone to answer to adds a level of responsibility that can drive you to take consistent action. In addition, celebrating small wins along the way can also help reinforce your self-discipline. Recognizing your progress, no matter how small, motivates you to keep going. Self-discipline is also closely tied to your ability to deal with failure and setbacks. It's easy to be disciplined when things are going smoothly, but what happens when you face obstacles or experience failure? Many people give up when things don't go according to plan. But self-discipline means showing up and continuing to work, even when the results aren't immediate or when you encounter difficulties. If you experience a setback, acknowledge it, learn from it, and keep moving forward. Resilience and perseverance are critical to maintaining your discipline when things don't go as expected. With each setback you overcome, your self-discipline grows stronger. It's also important to recognize that building self-discipline takes time. It is a muscle that you must train and strengthen every day. Just like physical fitness, self-discipline is developed through consistent practice. At first, it might feel difficult, and the temptation to give in to distractions or procrastination might be strong. But with time, as you continue to push yourself and stick to your routines, self-discipline becomes easier. The key is to stay committed to the process and not get discouraged by small failures or moments of weakness. Remember, even when you stumble, you can get back on track. Lastly, self-discipline is about mastering your mind. The way you think influences the way you act. If you constantly tell yourself that you are undisciplined or that you lack willpower, you are reinforcing those beliefs. But if you reframe your thoughts and remind yourself that you are capable of discipline, your actions will follow. Believe in your ability to stay committed and follow through, and your self-discipline will grow. It's all about shifting your mindset and developing the belief that you are in control of your actions, no matter what. In summary, self-discipline is the foundation of success. It requires the ability to take action even when you don't feel like it, the creation of routines and structures to guide your actions, and the willingness to delay gratification for long-term rewards. By staying focused, holding yourself accountable, learning to deal with setbacks, and committing to consistent practice, you develop the self-discipline that will carry you toward your goals. And as you strengthen this skill, you will find that your ability to achieve anything you set your mind to becomes limitless. Focusing on your goals is the essential element that turns dreams into reality. Without focus, the path to success is blurred, and your efforts become scattered, making it difficult to achieve anything meaningful. It's easy to get distracted by life's many demands, but focusing on your goals ensures that you stay on track, make intentional progress, and ultimately reach your desired outcome. The key to success lies in focusing not just on what you want to achieve, but in making deliberate choices and actions that align with your objectives. The first step in focusing on your goals is to define them clearly. Goals that are vague or generalized offer no direction, making it hard to know where to begin or how to measure progress. A goal like, "I want to be successful," is too broad. Success means different things to different people, and without specificity, it's easy to get lost. A clear goal, such as, "I want to increase my sales by 20% in the next 6 months," or "I want to finish reading 1 book per month," gives you something concrete to work toward. By clearly defining your goals, you give yourself a roadmap, a clear direction, and a sense of purpose. Once your goals are clearly defined, breaking them down into smaller, actionable steps is crucial. Large, daunting goals can feel overwhelming, and the thought of achieving them might seem impossible. However, when you break your goal down into smaller tasks, each step becomes a manageable piece that is easier to tackle. For instance, if your goal is to launch a new business, your smaller tasks might include writing a business plan, creating a website, finding suppliers, and setting up social media accounts. Each small task, when completed, brings you closer to the bigger picture. By focusing on the next small step instead of the entire mountain, you maintain momentum and keep the process from feeling intimidating. Prioritization is another critical component of maintaining focus. In the course of pursuing any goal, you will likely encounter many different tasks and responsibilities. It's easy to get caught up in less important activities that seem urgent, but don't really move you toward your main objectives. Prioritizing your tasks allows you to focus your energy on what truly matters. To do this effectively, assess each task based on how much impact it will have on your goal. If you spend your time on tasks that don't significantly contribute to your main goal, you are diverting valuable energy and attention. By constantly asking yourself, "What will move me closer to my goal?" you can eliminate distractions and focus only on what's essential. The ability to block out distractions is fundamental to focusing on your goals. In today's digital world, distractions are everywhere. Email, social media, phone notifications, and even the endless stream of news can all pull your attention away from the task at hand. To stay focused, it's important to create an environment that minimizes these distractions. Turn off notifications, set aside specific times for checking email, and create a workspace that is conducive to concentration. In addition to managing your environment, it's helpful to set boundaries with the people around you. Let them know when you need to focus and when you're available to engage. The clearer you are about your boundaries, the easier it becomes to stay focused. Another aspect of focus is to make your goals non-negotiable. It's easy to make excuses and justify why you didn't make progress on a given day or week, but to stay focused on your goals, you must hold yourself accountable. This means making the decision that no matter what, you will work on your goal every day, even if it's just for a short time. Non-negotiable goals allow you to push past laziness, distraction, and lack of motivation. When you view your goal as something you absolutely must accomplish, it becomes a matter of commitment rather than a choice. You start to prioritize it as one of the most important things in your life, and as a result, your focus sharpens. Another powerful way to stay focused is to track your progress. When you keep track of your actions and results, you create a clear record of how far you've come, which reinforces your commitment and determination. Progress tracking can take many forms, whether it's keeping a journal, using a tracking app, or simply checking off items on your to-do list. Seeing your progress in black and white reminds you of the steps you've taken and the work you've done, which motivates you to keep going. Additionally, tracking progress allows you to make necessary adjustments. If you see that one approach isn't yielding the results you expected, you can shift your focus to more effective strategies. Accountability is another key to staying focused. When you have someone to report to, whether it's a coach, mentor, or accountability partner, you're more likely to stay committed to your goals. Knowing that someone is expecting you to make progress creates an extra layer of responsibility. It's easier to follow through when you know someone is going to ask about your progress, and that accountability helps you maintain your focus. In some cases, you might also find that sharing your goals publicly, whether on social media or within a community, can help you stay accountable. When others are watching and supporting you, it strengthens your resolve to stay focused. It's also important to recognize that maintaining focus requires energy and effort. At times, you will feel tired or uninspired, and that's when your discipline will need to take over. The key to staying focused, even on the difficult days, is to create a routine and stick to it. Establishing a regular schedule of work and rest helps prevent burnout and keeps you on track. Even when motivation wanes, your routine provides structure and consistency, allowing you to continue moving forward. Lastly, don't forget to celebrate small victories along the way. It's easy to get so focused on the end goal that you forget to acknowledge your progress. Celebrating small milestones reminds you that you are making progress, which keeps you motivated and engaged in the process. Whether it's finishing a task or reaching a small goal, taking the time to recognize your success reinforces the importance of staying focused and keeps you excited about what lies ahead. In conclusion, focusing on your goals is the key to success. By defining your goals clearly, breaking them down into smaller tasks, and prioritizing your actions, you create a direct path toward your desired outcome. By managing distractions, holding yourself accountable, tracking progress, and maintaining discipline, you will stay focused on your goals and keep moving forward. So the ability to focus is a skill that can be developed, and with consistent practice, it becomes the driving force behind your success. In conclusion, controlling your mind, emotions, and actions is the key to unlocking your full potential. By taking charge of your thoughts, you set the foundation for a positive mindset that propels you forward. Managing your emotions helps you maintain composure and make decisions that align with your goals. Self-discipline ensures that you stay on course even when challenges arise, and focus on your goals keeps you moving in the right direction. These principles, when practiced consistently, empower you to create the life you desire and achieve success on your own terms. Mastering your mind and emotions is not an overnight process, but with dedication and persistence, you will transform your life and become the person you aspire to be.